So right now I am browning hamburger meat. I'm making like a goulash chili mac type of dish. Uh, in here I already have some garlic salt, oregano, some thyme, a little bit of basil, and some pepper. And here in a minute, after it's browned and I drain the grease, I will add in some onion and some chili pepper, some more garlic. You gotta love garlic, right? Trying to think what else I have over here. Paprika. I blanked. Sorry. And I'll add in a little bit more pepper too. Before I start going on to the next step of adding in some tomatoes and tomato sauce, and then I gotta add in some beans and corn and the elbow macaroni. It's a very simple one-pan dish that's great if you got kids or you need to feed a family of 4 or more. I usually make quite a big helping of it, and then I'll freeze a chunk. And I'll freeze a bowl or 2. Okay. Grease is drained. I got my burner off for just a minute though, because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. This is still plenty hot up here. Okay, what we're gonna do next is I got some seasoning. It's chili powder, paprika, some packaged chili seasoning, garlic, and minced onion. I thought I had an onion to chop up, and I do not. So I'm working with what I got right now. And you want to just... Also, I'm using two pounds of meat. So I have probably extra seasoning. Then you want to put in about half a cup of water just to stir it around. We're going to add in tomato sauce in just a minute too, so that will help. We also don't want it too watery. We want the sauce to be thick and consistent. Now I got the cans open. I did open up some pinto beans and chili sauce, and I divided the sauce. I only put a small portion of the sauce in here, and then I drained the rest of them. So, and my stove is still off at the moment. It's still warm. I want to get everything added in, and then I'll turn the burner back on. So we're gonna start by adding in 2 small cans of tomato sauce, or you can get 1 big can. This is for 2 pounds of meat now, keep that in mind. If you just do 1 pound of meat, then use only 1 can. Okay, and then we're gonna add in some Rotel. Now normally I would chop up peppers, tomato, onion, all that. But right now I'm just using what I have. I need to go grocery shopping, y'all. It's still gonna be good. So I got 1 can of Rotel with the juice. You'll want that juice on at least 1 can. Okay, we're gonna throw that in there. And then I have 1 can of Rotel that I drained, and I'm only gonna put half of it in, and then I'm gonna stir it around, see if I need to put the other half in or not. That's about half. Okay, I'm gonna stir it around some, see if I need the rest of that can or not. I probably will. It's such a large portion right now. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go ahead and let me get something that makes this better. Let's go ahead and do the rest of this Rotel can. Okay. So if you want to do what I do occasionally, where I chop up the tomatoes and onions and all that, make sure you add a little lime juice. You're basically wanting to make almost a pico. By using onion, tomato, green chilies, maybe some cilantro if you don't have that weird gene. But today I'm using just cans. It's easier. Sometimes I like easy. Sometimes I want shortcuts. Okay, once that's added in, we're gonna turn our burner back on very low, just so it can start getting warmed back up. And then we're gonna add in some of our macaroni. I like to cook the macaroni up first and then add in the corn and beans like towards the end of cooking the macaroni. So that's what we're gonna do. Whenever the pasta has about 2 or 3 minutes left, I'll toss in the cans of corn and beans. Let's turn our burner back up some more so we can start getting this to a simmer. You don't want to add a whole box. It's not necessary to add a whole box. Okay? So I want to get this to a simmer. Even for 2 pounds of meat, I added about half a box, and that's going to expand and it's going to work out just fine. Okay? I might add in a little bit of water. I might add in just a little bit more macaroni. Okay, so I used 3/4 of a box, but I definitely do not use a whole box, even with 2 pounds of meat. So, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of water, and then we're going to get it up to a boil, and we're going to simmer it with a lid on for about 10 minutes. We'll say 8 minutes so that I can put in the corn and beans. Okay? Maybe 7. 7 minutes or so. We've been simmering. I had the lid on. I just took it off so I can start adding in the corn and beans. Okay, and we're gonna play it by ear with the corn and beans. Drain them, drain them. The only time I don't drain them for a 1-pan meal is taco soup, but this is not taco soup, so we drained them. Now I'm putting in a whole can there. I'm gonna stir it around. Because I might need to put in about a quarter or half of another can, and I think I will. Yeah, I'm gonna do about a quarter of another can here. Not all of it. Not all of it. There we go. Okay. So I got the corn in. And sometimes what I like to do when I make this dish as well is roast the corn before I put it in with this dish. It's also very good like that. Okay, so we got the corn in. I got these because it's also like a cheat, just a shortcut, because it has that sauce in it. But I took out some of the sauce. I drained most of it. So we're gonna do part of that can there. Mix it in real good. And then we're gonna do part of a can of regular low sodium pintos that have been drained as well. So we're gonna do part of a can of these. You know, something else I do sometimes is I'll take a can of black beans instead of pintos, and I'll use black beans, but you gotta make sure that you drain and rinse them very well. I'm all about shortcuts tonight, so I'm just doing my shorter version of this dish. Okay. Now you want it to simmer again for about 4 minutes with the lid on. Make sure that your pasta is done. Oh yeah, pasta needs another couple minutes. Okay. I'm gonna add in just a tad more water just to get this pasta going more. If you're making this at home, you can probably add in a little more tomato sauce. I don't have any more tomato sauce. But water works fine. As long as you have everything well seasoned, water works fine. Just don't put too much water, because then you might thin it out too much. Okay. We're gonna let that cook on my stove for about medium for about 5 more minutes. And here it is. It should be all done. after I got my oven off. And I'm just letting the heat finish it off, but it's all done. Now most people want to top this with cheese. That's perfectly fine. I can't eat cheese, so I never top mine with cheese. There you go. There's some goulash, I guess you would call it. I usually call it my chili mac because I focus more on chili seasonings for it. The chili mac has cheese, and I can't eat cheese, so no cheese in this. To me, it's basically a glorified hamburger helper. Serves more people. Probably tastes better. I haven't had hamburger helper in a while. Not that I'm knocking it. I just love hamburger helper. Well, that is it. I'm gonna make me a plate with some biscuits and go to town on this. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and follow, because I'm gonna probably start posting more of my various recipes if anybody is interested. And I cook a lot.